Dear gents and ladies, this is the eighth in a series of talks on India's growth story. We are well aware of the fact that India aims to be a major world power in the next 2 decades. Naturally, everything that contributes towards that ambitious national goal matters. I hope this talk will be instructive and useful both to students of competitive exams as well as to all of you who love this great country. Some world class navies. Friends, a world power must have a world class navy. It seems, however, that we were caught napping. Right from 1970s, China started building its navy, and a US congressional research report suggests that currently Chinese navy is the largest in the world by fleet size. Yet in respect of quality and striking power of its navy, USA still remains supreme. However, we shall confine ourselves here only to one aspect of naval power, and that is the importance of aircraft carriers in a country's navy. USA was forced by certain circumstances to send its armies and navy into the two world wars. Since it has a very long coastline along both Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, it has started developing its naval power very early, and by 1920s it had already launched its first aircraft carrier named Jupiter. As of now, USA has 11 aircraft carriers. They are in fact the largest aircraft carriers in the world, for each of them has a displacement of 1 lakh tons and can carry 80 fighter aircraft. And they are all nuclear powered, which means that they can stay on the sea much longer than ships run on controversial fuel, on conventional fuels. UK, China, and India operate two aircraft carriers each. But compared to China's, India's aircraft carriers are much smaller in size and capacity. China launched its two aircraft carriers during the last decade, and they have a displacement of 60,000 tons and 70,000 tons. They can carry up to 40 aircraft on board. However, China has already started building a much bigger aircraft carrier, which will be its third and will exceed 80,000 tons in displacement. India's carriers. India presently has two aircraft carriers. The first one was INS Vikramaditya, purchased from Russia in 2004. But India has now launched a bold program of producing its own weapons and armaments for its defense forces. So the second carrier was built in India's own Cochin shipyard and launched on September 2, 2022 by PM Modi. Named INS Vikrant, it is the largest warship built indigenously, and it can carry a crew of about 1,600 and operate a fleet of 30 aircraft along with 4 multi-role helicopters. It is also to be noted that 75% of its components were indigenously procured. More than half a dozen major industrial companies and over 100 small businesses were involved in the process, providing jobs to thousands. This 47,000-ton warship will be fully operational by next year, and it will carry 30 MiG-29 aircraft on board. But the future plan is to equip the ship with more sophisticated and powerful F/A-18 Super Hornet from Boeing USA. Negotiations with this company, as well as with the French aircraft maker Dassault, which supplied us recently with Rafale fighters, are underway at present. Aircraft carriers are expensive items, and Vikrant has cost us about rupees 23,000 crore. India's strategic maritime position. The question now is, why do we need a third aircraft carrier? The reasons are many. First, India has a long coastline that runs to no less than 7,500 kilometers. To guard such a long sea frontier, two medium-class carriers are not enough. As we have seen, USA's carriers are twice as big as our own and can carry up to 80 aircraft. China's carriers are also much bigger, and they have already started working on their third, much larger aircraft carrier. Secondly, China does not abide by international conventions. That makes it a very dangerous neighbor, not only on land but also on the sea. Of late, its navy has taken a more and more assertive role, not only in South China Sea but also in the Indian Ocean. Its warships and submarines regularly patrol Indian Ocean, which pose a serious threat to us. Thirdly, India enjoys a very strategic position in the Indian Ocean. Its maritime position makes it the bridge between East and West for all ships that go east from European, American or Middle East countries must use sea lanes that run through Indian Ocean, and a large volume of world trade passes through it. China knows it well. That is why its warships infest Indian Ocean. In fact, it has strengthened its position in this maritime region by occupying Hambantota, a Sri Lankan airport where one of its surveillance ships had docked recently. To counter Chinese influence in this crucial maritime area, we must have a larger and a stronger naval presence. The presence of a third carrier will help us to project our power on the sea more effectively. Fourthly, aircraft carriers need regular maintenance and repairs to provide long and effective service, which means that they have to remain in the docks for long periods. Hence, if we have three carriers, then at least two of them can always keep patrolling our seas and provide us adequate security, while the third one lies in the docks. India is well aware of its security needs on the sea, and hence work on a third carrier, INS Vishal, is already underway. And while Vikrant uses four General Electric gas turbines, this third carrier will have an electrical propulsion system. Presently, India is consulting friendly nations like USA, UK and France for a still better design and technology for its third carrier, which might be of 65,000 tonnage. This carrier is likely to enter service by 2030. Once again, it is the Cochin shipyard where this Vigor warship will be built using indigenous materials to a maximum. Dependence on foreign countries to provide us with defense equipment makes us vulnerable. Realizing this, the the NDA government has put more and more thrust since 2014 on utilizing our own resources and developing our own technologies to strengthen our systems. The building of fighter aircraft for our Air Force and carriers for the Navy is a bold step forward. To conclude, India has decided to forge its own destiny. Its aim is no less than to emerge as a world power by 2050, and it is moving with measured steps in that direction by developing its capabilities in all the sectors, social, economic, as well as defense. Please like and subscribe if you find this talk useful. Thank you.